All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Up and In Show. I'm messing up my mic here. First of all, thank you guys for being with us. If you subscribe, if you're listening, I appreciate y'all. I'm here at Cards and Culture on the purple couch today with a special guest, Bryton Constantin. Thank you very much, man. This is the second time we've ran through this, so we got a little bit of rust out the way. But you're a Baton Rouge kid, and we're going to dive into your story. I'm excited. You chose to play college ball out at Clemson, right?
Yeah, it's a better atmosphere. I couldn't stay here.
Yeah. The first take you said, what did you say? Trouble?
Yeah, there's too much trouble in Baton Rouge. Like it's not somewhere you really want to. I love Baton Rouge to death, and I love Louisiana, but it's not somewhere where you necessarily want to stay all the time. So, and me, I just wanted to get out.
Yeah, that's so fun because this to me is going to be a really good episode. With a lot of perspective because I'm a New Jersey kid that came down here and played baseball at LSU and wound up staying here. So now I've been here 16 years. So I always appreciate the perspective of people that grew up here, played ball somewhere else and wanted to leave, you know, and all that stuff. So we'll get into your story. I really appreciate some of your content. I've gotten to know you a little bit through there. I think you speak a lot to things that I'm passionate about in the sense of mental health. Your story is really powerful. I think you do a really good job of storytelling with your content too. I watched that you talking to your younger self one, that video. Yeah. Bro, that one was Joe showed me that one and I was just like, I was taken back. Like I thought that was hella deep and to have the perspective that you do at the age you are, you know, is pretty moving. So why don't we get into a little bit of your story where you grew up and why don't you tell our audience a little bit, like a 2-minute rundown of who you are?
Well, I'm Bryton Constantin. I'm 22 years old. I grew up here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, all 18 years, played football, basketball, went to MBS, Parkview, and then I graduated from U-High in college. And then I went to Clemson for football. Didn't work out because of my knees, and yeah, that's really it. I got a family here, mom, stepdad, little brother. We all live in the same neighborhood. It's nothing special, just down here back in Louisiana.
Nice. So I didn't know you. For some reason, I thought you might have been like mid-20s, honestly, just even like looking at your content. I'm being serious. Like I'm 33 years old. And to have, I think younger generations have such a deeper perspective and knowledge and things just because you guys are exposed to things at an earlier age. So let's start with, you grew up playing ball or like talk to me about your story growing up. Were you always an athlete?
No. Okay. Dear God, no. Growing up, I mean, the first thing I knew how to do was ride a dirt bike. Okay. So I didn't touch a ball. I didn't really do anything. It was just me and my mom. My dad wasn't really in my life at all. So my uncle, my mom, I mean, we were all living in Louisiana, so it's just hop on a dirt bike. So, I mean, I hopped on a dirt bike when I was 3. Yeah. I've been riding ever since.
That's dope.
But I started playing basketball and football, you know, at a normal age, 6, 7, flag football, whatever. Gotcha. Then I started playing tackle. I played out in Prairieville, actually. I didn't play for the school. I never wanted to play for the school team because I had no friends on the school team whatsoever. So I was like, I need to go play somewhere else. Yeah. So grew up playing football, not with the kids from my school. Yeah. So I made friends around the state. It was a good experience doing that. And played AAU basketball, played travel baseball for a little minute. Just
nice. Played it all. Did it all. Yeah.
But no, it was just me and my mom. I ended up having a little brother when I was 10. So it's just me, him, her. Yeah. Now I have a stepdad.
Yeah, that's cool.
Just growing up, me and my mom by myself, it was rough.
Yeah, that's got to be interesting. Talk to me a little bit about that. You know, how did that? You have a good relationship with your mom?
Yeah, I mean, my mom, she's 44, so she had me at a really young age. Yeah. And being an only child for so long, we grew like brother and sister. So if me and her are in public nowadays, it's like a mom-son, but it's not like a mom-son relationship. It's like, I mean, it's like we argue like brother and sister. Like, it's not really what you expect out of a brother-son. But I mean, it was rough growing up because, you know, she didn't know what she was doing. Yeah. And I mean, as a 21-year-old white mom trying to raise a black kid, like, you don't really. That's why I got thrown on a dirt bike. Yeah, like, you know, you're just trying.
She's trying her best.
You don't know what to do. Yeah, yeah. But I mean, I would never trade it for the world. Yeah, you know, like it made me who I am today. It made me so close with her. Gave me a different perspective on so many things in life. That it just made me who I am today.
That's what I was gonna say, man. I think the perspective that you probably you gained, you know, just growing up in that lifestyle and probably looking different than your mom too. I think, you know, I say fortunate, I really do. I've dated a lot of women that I think are biracial, are biracial, and I think I've gained a lot of perspective from learning from them, you know, just being in their lives and understanding things that they've went through. So I can't imagine, you know, kind of going through that as a young kid and that kind of stuff. So
I mean, it was bad at a young age because like the schools I went to, they were majority white,
right,
and at a young age, you don't understand that I'm half white. Like
exactly.
you don't get
exactly.
it. You have no idea. It doesn't make sense in your head. And so that's why I had to like keep transferring, keep playing sports outside of my school. I didn't play school ball till 7th or 8th grade.
Yeah.
So I was always I just had to stay away and be around. Like even my mom wants to be around more of a diverse crowd.
100%. Yeah.
So
well, I give props to your mom for doing that too, to make, you know, to understand that. And man, it's such an interesting world that we live in too, where, like you said, kids don't know the difference. They're so innocent and everything, but the world tells them something different, or people treat them differently, and people treat your mom differently, that kind of stuff.
Stuff like that is taught. It's not.
100%.
People always argue. It's like, you know, you're born this way, you're born that way. Like everything in this world today is. I'm like, no.
I hate when people say that too, or like it's genetics. It's like no, you were taught that.
You were taught, and even if it is scientific, well, whatever. I'm like, bro, you're taught. Like you're not born racist. No, like you're taught this through your family.
Your learned behavior, and you can, and if it's learned, you can unlearn it. And that's where I say too is like I've been fortunate enough to date, you know, different women that's given me perspective. And I say dating, I bring up dating, like I've played with guys in, you know, all the different types of sports and from Spanish third world countries where I learned a lot of perspective. But the dating, you're in that world. Like you understand somebody intimately, you learn how they grew up and that kind of stuff. So that's why I feel like I hear that from you. And I'm like, man, it takes a special woman to raise somebody like that too. Because one of the last girls that I dated, her mom was white, and she was just her and her mom growing up. And she had to make 2 mixed babies and was, you know, going around America trying to learn that stuff in the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. Sometimes I have to remind myself that this is my mom's first time living too. You know, like a lot of people don't, a lot of kids or even people my age, like we don't get it. Like this is your parents' first time living too. Yep. Like they're still trying to figure out their life just as much as you're trying to figure out yours.
Facts.
But you don't look at it like that. Like this is my parents.
They're the know-all.
They know everything, and it's hard to sit back and be like, okay, this is their first time too. So like you gotta have a little bit of a what's the word? Grace,
understanding, empathy.
Everything.
Yeah, that's like same thing. I was 22 years old when my parents got divorced, and I think that's when I realized like, oh shit, like everything they taught me growing up is not real. Like too, also right? Like they said, do this. I was going to the church, all this stuff, and you're like, you guys got divorced. This was this, and I start learning more about them. You start getting to know your parents, and you're like, oh, okay, you guys are just humans too. Like you guys made mistakes and all that shit.
I'm definitely at the age now where, like, the world is just opening up.
Yes.
Everything is coming full circle. And I'm glad it's happening at kind of a young age because a lot of people don't really come to themselves or grow into themselves in their whole entire life. Yeah. But, I mean, I'm really happy that, like, I'm getting a much better understanding of how the world and how it works.
No, you're hella young for that, and you got a lot of pull the mic a little closer, too. You got the whole world in front of you too at 22 years old. Like, dude, it's like, and like I said, to have the perspective that you do. And again, we're going to dive into some of the reasons that you have these perspectives. And we've already dove into a few things, but you learn these things, and you've had unfortunate circumstances with injuries and things like that taken things away from you and changed your identity and forced you to learn these things at such a young age, you know? But again, all those things go into, like you said, maturation and a skill set that make you a better person and everything. So I'm excited to dive into that conversation. So talk to me a little bit about when football started getting serious for you and when you realized maybe you had a chance to play at kind of the next level, or I guess maybe even high school, because you said when you were younger you didn't play for your school teams.
Growing up, I was always the bigger kid.
Yeah.
So I was always playing the position I shouldn't have really been playing.
Just because you were bigger, stronger?
Yeah. Definitely. So, I mean, I knew I was pretty good because my coaches would always tell me at a young age, like, you can do this if you keep trying, if you do this, if you do that. And I never really believed them because I was always this big chunky kid that is just blocking or doing something. I played a little bit of tight end, and I played a running back because I was bigger. And they saw like little glimpses here and there, but I was just always so big and slow. Like,
so you were thicker.
I was like, funny. I was 200 in 8th grade.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're a big boy. Yeah.
And
I was chunky too growing. That's why I say it. I can relate too.
Yeah. But no, I mean, besides the younger years, whenever I got to 8th grade, I was still playing offensive line. And the school that I was going to, I knew they were going to stick me on the offensive line if I stayed there for high school.
Yeah.
And I told my mom, I was like, I do not want to stay here.
Yeah.
I can't. So I ended up transferring to U-High, and I got moved to running back and linebacker and just played my freshman year, didn't play at all.
Yeah.
And then sophomore year, I went from not playing at all to starting on varsity sophomore year.
Nice.
And after my sophomore year, I think in that summer I picked up my first offer.
Nice.
And then junior year, it just...
You kept rolling up.
Yeah, so probably when I was... after my freshman year, I realized that I was more athletic than a lot of people. I was growing into my body. Like the kids that grew into their body young, I was starting to pass them up a little bit. Because I was always jealous that we're in we're in like 7th, 8th grade, and I'm like, wow, like, you know, I don't even want to take off my shirt in front of these girls. Like, how can they just do, like, you know what I mean?
No, that's facts, so
once we got to high school, I finally started, I was a late developer.
I was just going to ask.
Physically. Not, like, mentally, I was always just, like, on top of stuff like IQ, because I knew everybody was more athletic than me.
Yeah. So it forced you to think a little bit more and try to get creative and stuff.
And then the athleticism caught up, and
then everything was together.
Everything came together, and it played out like it should have.
Yeah. What do you think contributed to the athleticism? Like, was it just normal maturation growing into your body, or did you hit a strength program that kind of was like, oh, this is...
Yeah. I mean, I have somewhat athletic genes, I guess. My dad played in the NBA for a while, and he played overseas. And then, I mean, I got nothing from my mom whatsoever, like nothing. So I had a little bit. I knew that I was an athlete. I just didn't know when it was going to come, you know? And so I think, so in 8th grade, I went out to Arizona with my friend Jordan Clark and Ryan Clark. We went out there, and I trained with them. That was like my first real training program.
Nice.
And I was looking at all these NFL players, and I was like, man, like, this is what it takes. You know, and I'm 13, 14 years old. But I already had, like, that mindset of, okay, like, this is what it takes.
Yeah.
And I was out there dying. Like, it was 30 days straight. Trying to think of the players.
And RC's no joke, too. And you know he wasn't taking it easy on you.
And we're only 14, but we're not training like we're 14.
No, I can imagine he wasn't taking it easy on you.
No, and so the players out there, because the players were training at the same time we were training.
Oh, shit.
So it wasn't like we were just like not training. It was just me and Jordan, like at a young age. So I went out there. It was like 30 days. Tim Tebow was out there. Terrell Suggs. I'm trying to think of some other players. There were just a lot of players. And I knew these names, and I was like, wow. I was like, you know, they're here.
Yeah.
They're huge.
Yeah.
They're fast. I was like, you're huge, but you're not fast. So I went out there. I ended up losing like 15, 20
After
pounds.
that, or like out there, you
like out there, and then I came home and I hit a growth spurt. And I hit my growth spurt going into high school, and I grew to like 6'1".
Nice.
And just started to thin out.
Yeah.
And see that you can actually become athletic if you just keep going.
Yeah.
Like if you keep practicing, if you keep trying, you don't have to not be. Like if you're born not athletic, you can become somewhat athletic.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I just kept grinding.
Yeah. How tall are you now?
6'3".
I was gonna say you're pretty tall. Yeah. Is that a normal height for your position that you played?
Yeah, I mean,
you were linebacker.
Yeah, in high school I played inside and outside, and then in college I was just gonna be playing outside, which is somewhat normal. You know, it's probably depends on what defense it is or what school, but I mean, 6'1" to 6'3" for like an outside linebacker isn't rare. Like it's not,
For some reason, again, because I didn't grow up. Funny story, my dad didn't let me play football. No joke. Like, my older brother played, fucked up his arm and stuff like that. So I was good at baseball and basketball and everything. And he was like, you're not. He literally didn't even. He sent me to a high school that did not have football because he was like, because the town that I grew up in, we were the best in the state every year. And he was like,
baseball?
we go there. No, football.
Oh, okay.
So he's like, if I send you there, they're gonna find a way to get you on the team. You know, So I went to a different school. But anyway, I say that to say I don't know the ins and outs of football, like the details of like that kind of stuff, who plays what position, all that stuff, height, weight.
The inside linebackers usually like 5'11" to 6'1".
Gotcha. Okay.
Short and stocky.
Gotcha.
And
That's
the
what I saw.
outside backers are usually long, length, because they have to cover more ground.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Cool. See, those are little intricate things that I don't know. I watch it enough on TV and I bet on it, which is probably dumb because I don't know shit, but whatever.
That's all I do.
Yeah.
That's all I do is just sports bet.
I know. I'm a degenerate with it now. All right. So you go to high school, you start realizing you're starting to get athletic and maybe a little better. And then offers start rolling in junior year. Talk to me a little bit. Now, you said you didn't grow up with pops around, who was helping guide that through you? Because my parents didn't do shit. They didn't know anything about sports, so I was learning on the fly. Was it same with you?
Yeah, bro. My mom knows absolutely nothing. Yeah. So growing up, I'm dead ass. She would tell me, she would ask me, she didn't know which way the game was going.
Oh man, she's
she told me, now since I've grown, she would tell me stories about what would happen at the games whenever I was younger. And she's the parent in the stands asking what's going on.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm a little bit embarrassed about that. Sorry for anybody's parents that had to put up with that. But I mean, now she clearly knows.
Yeah, she knows. She learns.
Yeah, she knows everything about it now. But growing up, it was nothing. But even in high school, it was still, she knew the rules and stuff, but she didn't know anything about offers or really,
that whole process, I'm sure, too.
Yeah, and so it all took us by surprise. I knew that I was capable, but I never knew if it was going to become true.
Yeah.
So whenever it started to come true, it just took off. So it was no easing into it. I got a few offers at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, it just, no warning, no nothing. I started getting an offer every day, every other day. I couldn't really keep up, and it became really, really stressful for a 17, 18-year-old.
I'd imagine, and especially a mom who doesn't know how to handle that too, or doesn't have experience with it.
The only person I could talk to about it were my friends who
gone through it.
Who else? Yeah, I could talk to my mom, but she didn't care where I was going for football.
Right.
She wanted me to go somewhere for an education. She wanted me to go somewhere to be safe.
Yes.
And that's
So how does that in football? See, with baseball is you have a certain day and the teams can start calling you. But I know in football, isn't it once one offer gets going and teams hear about it, it's they have to offer
Yeah, I mean, there's a dead period where just I don't know if it's the same in baseball or anything, but there is a dead period. Some of the rules have changed, I think, for high school now. But whenever I was in high school, they couldn't September 1st, I think, was the day that they could contact me or talk to me or do whatever.
Junior year?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so whenever it was September 1st, junior year, I was just waiting. I didn't go to sleep.
Yeah.
And I think it was that day. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But whatever that day was, I didn't go to sleep.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I know all of these coaches because I have a few offers right now.
Yeah.
But now I had to go through the dead period, couldn't talk to anybody.
Right.
I was like, this day's coming. I really hope something pops.
Yeah.
So it was that I got a few that night. It wasn't nothing too big or anything crazy. And then a few weeks go by, and crazy enough, so Brent Venables, which was our defensive coordinator at Clemson, he came down to my school to recruit Christian Harris.
Okay.
And that was my boy. He told me about it. He was like, yeah, coach, come see me, blah, 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 blah. I was like, oh, sweet.
Yeah.
And he comes and checks out Chris. And then as he's there, he was like, do y'all have anybody else? Blah, 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 blah. He was like, I heard about this one other kid. Y'all have this linebacker. So my defensive coordinator showed him my film, talked to him, this, that, whatever. And, Chris didn't even get recruited by them anymore because he was going to Bama.
Gotcha.
And so I became, I think they were recruiting. I don't know what they were recruiting him for, what position. But then they needed a linebacker because Isaiah Simmons, who was there right now, was about to leave and go to the draft.
Gotcha.
And I fit his frame. I fit everything that he was doing, how he was playing. And so I was like, sure.
Yeah.
Ended up committing, I think, I don't know how much longer after. I took a few visits.
You went a couple times to Clemson to go visit? Yeah.
They, I think they offered, I don't know when they offered. I think they offered me during basketball season.
Really?
Junior year, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they offered me during basketball season.
Were you playing basketball at the time?
I actually was because I remember telling all my friends at practice. I mean, I was so stoked.
Yeah, 100%.
I was like, I forgot what other offers I had before, but it wasn't nothing where I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And I would always be at basketball practice, telling my friends, I was like, was like, I might get this offer. I might, like, you know. And everybody's like, bro, no, you're not. Like,
talking about Clemson?
Yeah. And I was like,
they're hating it. They were like, motherfucker, I've been to
that's what I'm saying. No, I remember, bro, our manager on our team, I swear, bro, our manager on our team, I went up to him. Because Clemson was like his dream school, apparently.
Yeah, yeah. And
he was always a dick to me. He was I love that. And, but I was like, yeah, I might get off from Clemson. I'm like, blah, 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 so whatever. He was like, no, you're not. I was like, bro, what?
Fuck you.
I was just telling you because that's your dream school.
Yeah, exactly. I thought you'd be pumped for me.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to rub it into your face.
Yeah.
And then I remember the day I actually got the offer. I just went over and showed him my phone, and I was like, fuck you.
Why was he hating? Like, what? He was just.
I don't think he got in.
He was salty.
Yeah, I don't think he got in. But no. After that, it was crazy. I had almost every SEC offer.
So as soon as you commit or get an offer from Clemson, all of a sudden all the SEC.
No, I had all the SEC before Clemson, and then Clemson came. I got a few more after.
Gotcha.
But once they offered me, I knew I was going there.
Really?
I didn't even take a visit. I knew I was going there.
Really?
Yeah. I had no idea where it was. Like, I was watching the national championship.
And you were just like, I want to go there?
Yeah, whatever year, I forgot what year it was in high school, but they were playing Bama.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, fuck Bama.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of them winning. I'm gonna go for this team.
Let's go.
And I was young. I was young at the time, and I had no idea that would eventually be my destiny.
Right.
I didn't even know.
Kind of dope.
I had no idea it was in South Carolina.
No idea.
When I figured that out, I was like, all right, Mom, wait. I don't really, or just like, let's think about this.
Let's see how far it is. Like, that's great. I didn't know where LSU was too. I told that story recently. Yeah, I remember the same thing. My dad, they called and they were like, it's LSU. And I remember looking at my dad, LSU, he goes, Louisiana State. I'm like, oh. My dad, like Louisiana, that's far.
Yeah, no, that's really far.
Yeah.
It's so, when I tell people I'm from Louisiana, they're like
Waterboy? Yeah, that's it.
Bro, you have no Waterboy, crawfish.
Yep. Everybody thinks it's all New Orleans.
Gumbo.
Everything's New Orleans. Mardi Gras.
Everybody thinks we live on the water.
Yep, 100%.
And that our houses have to be lifted.
Yep.
And that if we go outside,
you got an alligator in the back or in the 100%. Yeah, it's fucking 100%. Well, that's what I thought. That's what I could say. That's why I was like, I'm landing. I'm like, damn.
When I think of Jersey, I think of like the beach.
Really?
I think of
Jersey Shore, like the show.
I think of when I think of Jersey, I think of the beach, just water.
That's good. Yeah. So I love hearing that. Jersey Shore changed it for us. I grew up at the Jersey Shore, but I feel like most people land in Newark, New Jersey, which is like, it's all industrial and cities and nasty. It smells like shit and everything.
I don't think of New Jersey.
Let's go. I love that. People used to hate on me all the time for that. They're like, oh man, you must smell bad, all that. I'm like, why? Because the factory smell? Like everybody from Jersey smells?
Baton Rouge smells.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about that. So you didn't want to go to LSU at all, did you? Or you said you wanted to get out of Baton Rouge.
Yeah, I didn't really want to stay here because my high school was on LSU's campus.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm like,
kind of got the LSU experience.
Yeah, I mean, I know I don't have the partying in the class and that experience, but like your college experience is also based on location.
True.
You know, like your mom can't just walk up in your, how some of those moms are, and I have one of those moms. Where,
dude, sorry about the bug. We had an event here this weekend. We got a bunch of fruit flies flying around.
But yeah, like if I was anywhere in Baton Rouge or relatively close, like my mom's coming to see me on a constant basis.
Was she like bringing you food in the morning, like at breakfast,
just like calling me, like why are you not answering? I'm like, Mom, like everything, just
like Mom, I'm a college kid now. I went out last night.
Like, she doesn't care about what I do as long as I let her know.
Right. She just wants to be
if I don't let her know, bro,
she got FOMO. She's like, why are you not telling me?
Heart attack. Yeah.
It's funny.
It's crazy.
So you need a little space. South Carolina was far enough. It got you out of the trouble.
It was really good. It's beautiful up there.
Yeah, it is.
I took a visit up there my junior year, and I was like, I'm ready to commit. Yeah. Like I told my mom, I was like, I want to commit like right now. She didn't let me. She wanted me to go there. She wanted me to go to
You
Clemson.
wanted to commit like junior year on the spot when you were there?
Yeah. Like the first visit I took, I wanted to commit.
Yeah.
But here's the thing about Clemson. Coach Sweeney doesn't play like at all.
Yeah.
He tells you if you want to commit, it's like a marriage. You cannot take a visit to another school. And I was like, fuck. I don't really know, So I ended up not committing. The first time I went, my mom, we were on the same page. Like we knew I was going to
wanted to go there.
But she was like, just explore a few other options, just that, whatever. And I was like, okay. So I took a few other visits. I went to Mississippi State, I went to like some schools around here. I didn't waste my time going to like I wanted to go to Florida. I wanted to go to Arizona State. I wanted to visit. I visited Houston just for fun. I was out there, and I was. But I never went to go visit the schools that offered me far away, like Boston College or
nothing up there.
Nothing crazy, because I knew that I was going to Clemson. So I was like, I'm not even gonna waste my time.
That makes sense.
And but yeah, I went back. I think I took 2 or 3 visits in total to Clemson, and then I ended up committing the day before the spring game.
Okay, nice.
So like my senior year, maybe.
Okay.
Junior, it was probably my junior year. I don't really remember. But second or third visit, I committed, and I was like, yeah.
We're in.
I guess this is my new life.
Yeah, let's go. I love that. So talk to me a little bit. So you leave Baton Rouge, you show up on campus. Now, for me, it was culture shock. You know, like I came from Jersey, LSU. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm meeting all these new people and stuff. Talk to me a little bit about what it was like when you showed up on campus, meeting all your boys, teammates, all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, my roommate freshman year, he's from Philly. So he's from that. He always tells me about Philly and Jersey.
Yeah,
and
let's go. We have a lot of pride coming from the Northeast.
That's how I have the love for Jersey, is because of him.
Let's go.
And so it wasn't really that big of a culture shock. You know, I was, because everybody's from everywhere else. So it's not like I'm the only one that's different. Exactly. I tell myself, I'm like, bro, these people are in the same shoes as you. So my roommate was from Jersey. I got to adapt to a lot of the things that I'm not really exposed to in Louisiana. Yeah. And it's just the little things. Like, we would be cooking, and he was like, yo, hand me that Old Bay. And I'm like, what? I'm like, hand me the Tony Sashries, bro. Like, we were in there arguing about crabs and crawfish.
That's it.
I'm like, bro, fuck those crabs. Just come get some crawfish.
That's hilarious.
And, but I mean, it's just little things like that.
Yeah,
you know, you go to class, you meet new people. You go to the locker room, you meet new people. But I do pretty well with, I guess, meeting new people and adapting to my surroundings. So it wasn't too hard for me to get comfortable and like start my routine pretty much right when I got there. Good.
What about training? And like you said, Coach Sweeney, Dabo Sweeney doesn't, he's no joke, huh?
Yeah, he doesn't even. So I tore my ACL before I got there. So whenever so whenever I got there, I was just recovering. Like, I was recovering. I only had 2 months left of recovery.
Okay. So you did it in your senior year of
playing basketball.
Oh,
playing basketball. Yeah, it was on senior night, my senior year.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was. I would never. It was the most quiet I've ever heard a gym.
Holy shit, man! I got chills, man.
It was
That's
so
crazy.
bad. It was.
Was it were you anything crazy, or is it just like?
I mean, I was stupid. Like, I'm at a young age, like, you know, I'm playing basketball, I'm having fun.
Exactly.
Like, people are like, why didn't you sit out?
Right.
And I'm like,
people tried to tell me to sit out my senior year too. I'm like,
what do you mean sit out? They're like, you're committed to. I'm like, dude, I don't care. Yeah. Like, they want me to play basketball. Exactly. But I do have I was gonna go to IMG my senior year, and I didn't because I had a girlfriend here, and I had my mom, and she was like, we're not going to be able to watch you play on Fridays again. Yeah. My girlfriend was crying at the time, and I'm like, all right, bro. I was like, I'll stay. Yeah. So I ended up staying, playing basketball. Wow. And if I went to IMG, I wouldn't have been playing basketball. Yeah. But that's my only regret in high school.
Damn. So you do regret it, huh? You wouldn't have played just because?
Well, no, I regret not transferring to IMG.
Got you.
I had a great time here, with my boys that are on the team. They'll be my boys for life.
Exactly. Yeah.
We won back-to-back state champions. Like, we did not lose. After my sophomore year, we did not lose one game.
In basketball?
In football.
Oh, in football. Okay.
Yeah, we didn't lose one game. Yeah. So like those boys will be like friends for the life.
100%.
That's the only reason I don't that I am happy that I stayed.
That's good. Yeah, no, I remember. So I took my scholarship my junior year for baseball, but it was the fall of my senior year. And everybody was like, "You're still gonna play basketball?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I'm gonna play basketball." I was like,
I played it my whole life.
Yeah, and my dad was adamantly like, "You're not gonna play." I'm like, "I'm playing," and he was like, "Call Coach Maneri, see if he wants you to play." I'm like, "Oh, great," because I knew Coach wanted me to play, so I called him, put him on speakerphone. He's like, "Yeah, you should play." You know, he's like, "I think it's great for athleticism." I'm looking at my dad. I'm like, "See, we're going, we're playing."
That's exactly why all coaches want you to play basketball.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's the conditioning, athleticism.
I'm 6'7". My coach wanted me to move around, stay athletic. He's like, "I don't need you coming down just being a pitcher only, being a robot." You know, so I think it's good for kids. I always say, you know, play. Obviously, you're running the risk of an injury and stuff like that, but again, things happen the way that they're supposed to. And I hate saying that so cliche, but I think that's what
dude,
you know, right?
Everything.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer in that everything happens for a reason.
Oh, yeah.
And by everything, I don't mean like paying attention to every tiny little thing that happens throughout the day, but big events that you question, that you're like, damn, like, why me?
Yes.
You know, like, that didn't happen for you to, like, it happened for you to suffer.
Yeah.
That's the only way you can get stronger and get better at anything, is if you suffer. You can't just expect to get better if you don't face any challenges, if you face no difficulties whatsoever. So
no,
everything happens for a reason.
And I think too, some of the most difficult, adverse times of life teach you the most, give you the most feedback, and give you a skill set to tackle anything, you know. And so we're gonna dive in, and then so you tore your ACL your senior year of high school, and then you tore it again. Same one or a different one?
No, all of my left leg. So I tore it senior year and senior night. And then I got to Clemson, recovered, got ready to play. I was redshirting my freshman year. And then week 1 rolls around. Like, I'm still practicing. Like, I'm just getting back into practice. I'm pretty sure it's my first or second day at practice. Tore it again.
Same one.
Yeah. So then I recovered.
Did you know it, like, the second that it happened?
Yeah. Like, we were in the middle of a drill, and I felt good.
Yeah.
Like, I was warming up. I was flying through drills. I passed every test to go back out on the field.
Yeah.
My knee was strong enough. My hamstring was strong enough. Everything was fine. I was running. I was cutting. I was everything. And we were doing a block shed drill. So I had somebody running at me. I have to make contact with him.
Yeah.
Rip and step through. And right when I stepped through, my knee just gave out. And I was like, bruh. And I ripped my helmet off and I threw it against the wall. And I was just screaming. It was like I just remember just looking around and looking at just hella people just staring at me. And I was like, bro. Like, this is devastating. Like, again, I just went through it. It was my first day back at practice.
I can't imagine.
And I was like, fuck.
Dude, that's the worst.
And then I recovered. We went to Arizona and played Ohio State, and that's when I started running. I was able to run again then. And then we played LSU in the Natty. And then right after we played LSU in the Natty, I was able to cut and, like, start getting back into stuff again. And long story short, it was not my fault that I tore it again, but I did.
Like, during rehab or, like, coming back from it?
Yeah. So the third time I tore it was never like, I mean, you can say it's my fault, but long story short, we have mat drills, which are just like really, really intense rotations of drills. And I wasn't able to do some of those drills because of my knee. I'm only 5 months out maybe. So I'm able to run in a straight line and I could backpedal and go forward, but I'm not able to go horizontally yet. Yeah. And so I'm running and out of nowhere, I hear my name and I'm like, what? I'm getting screamed at to come hop in a drill.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, I can't do the drill.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking cleared.
Yeah.
He was like, I saw you doing that drill. You can do this one. And I was like, actually, no the fuck I can't.
No, I can't, yeah.
The other drill, so the drill that he saw me doing was, there's a cone right here, or like there's a cone right here, there's a cone 10 yards away.
Yeah.
You run to that cone, we were going, like, you just chop your feet and you go around the cone.
Yeah.
Or you're like back, like you're chopping, like you're doing a back pedal around the cone. So I'm not moving horizontally.
Right.
I'm moving vertically. No matter which way I'm turning, I'm still moving vertically.
Yeah.
And this drill was over bags horizontally, step on a cone and open up your hips. Oh my God. Like you're getting out of a break or something. Yeah. Don't know how those two correlate or even look similar, but he was like, I saw you doing that one, you could do this one. He was like, you're just trying to get out of the drill, like blah, 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 blah. I'm like, what do you mean I'm trying to get out of the drill?
Literally have a surgically repaired
I'm running
knee.
Fucking hundreds while y'all are doing these. Don't you think I would much rather be doing this and running hundreds? And it's 5:30 in the morning. So I don't really have an option except I told him, I was like, I can't do this. I'm not cleared yet. I was like, can I go talk to the trainer?
Yeah.
No go.
Oof.
Hop in the drill. First time I'm going through, I stop because I got kind of scared.
Yeah.
And then second time I go through, I finish it, but I feel like a little pop. And I was like, oh, it can't be that bad. It might be like scar tissue or something, whatever. Yeah. So I walk over to him, and I was like, I'm done. I was like, I felt a little pop. I was like, I'm done. He's still yelling at me. Like, I'm just walking away at this point. Yeah. I'm like, I'm done with this shit. And So I walk over to the trainer, and I'm like, I felt a little pop in my knee. He was like, what drill were you doing? And I was like, that one.
Yeah. And he's like,
he lost his shit on the coach, he got mad at me, but I was like, I didn't have an option.
Yeah, I said no. Yeah.
I'm going to get a foot put up my ass at 5:30 in the morning, or I'm just going to be rolling the rest of practice if I don't hop in this damn drill.
Yeah.
And so it didn't really hurt that bad.
Yeah.
And so I kept running hundreds the rest of the day. And I went to go get an MRI that night.
Oh, my God.
And it was the worst it's ever been. Like, it was completely shattered. Like, completely gone.
Oh, my God. Yeah, take that, yeah.
I get hot talking.
Yeah. I would imagine, dude. Like that. Well, I would get heated. I mean, just like somebody fucking, I don't know, like that's your fucking livelihood. And this man's supposed to be helping protect it, grow it, like, yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely an interesting
Hold on, wait till you get in front of the mic. Yeah, you're good. No rush. Yeah, dude, I'd gone through some injuries in my life, and I also went through it in college. And I remember there was a moment in my life, same thing. So my freshman year, I showed up. I'm from New Jersey. I had never pitched, as much as these guys had thrown down here, all that stuff, right? So the fall, I wound up getting tendonitis in my elbow, which is a no-no for pitchers and shit. So I wound up sitting out the rest of the fall, and it was supposed to get better over the winter. And then we started spring ball up again, and it was still bothering me. So I stayed out for a while, and I didn't pitch. And then about halfway through the season, like it was still bothering me, but they were like, look, we got to decide what's going on with your elbow. Like, if you got to have surgery, you got to have surgery, but like, let's see if we can throw through it and all this stuff. And I remember I was throwing a bullpen, and my pitching coach gets in my face and jumps me. And he's like, are you going to fucking pitch this year or what? Like, is it hurt or is it not? Like, we need to know. Are you going to get fucking surgery or not? I'm like, he's like, are you a pussy or not? I'm like, I'm not a fucking pussy. Like, if man's challenging you in your face, of course.
That's what was going on with me.
He's yelling at you in front of all your teammates and your boys and shit. And you're like, I ain't no bitch. Like, I can get through this drill. Yeah. I'm not supposed to, but I can get through it.
That's what I'm saying. I'm only, what was it? We lost to LSU. It was still my freshman year. Like, I'm still a freshman. Yeah. And I'm getting bitched at in front of all the seniors, in front of everybody on the field. Right. And I'm like, bro. Yeah. I had to do it. Because there was also another kid in the drill that tore his ACL.
Oh, man.
And the trainer ran over there and grabbed him before anything bad happened. So I got the bad end of it.
Oh, my God. That's horseshit.
Yeah.
Is that coach still? I mean, I don't want to get into details, but like.
Yeah, I never talked to the media about it because I was still there. I was still going to school.
Exactly, yeah.
I was like, if I talked about it in the media, it was a really big ordeal because like, my parents came up. We held a meeting with Coach Sweeney and the other coach, and like it was serious. Everybody knew. From the doctor performing my surgery to everybody on the team, like the reason that I cannot play anymore is because of this. Because my second surgery was the best surgery I had. Oh my God! And it was they did my patella tendon, which is what normally it is, and so it was my best surgery. It was holding up the best. Like everything was going according to plan. It was the best I felt compared to the first one and the third one. Yeah. But.
That's fucking crazy. So man, so it's so crazy too, like that's taken away from you because of a system that's in place of like, I can't look like a bitch. I can't be emasculated in front of my, you know what I'm saying? Like, but that's the world that we live in as athletes, right? And I've talked about this on my podcast a lot because I own a few gyms in town. And in the last 3 or 4 years since I've owned those gyms, I feel like I'm learning things about my body that I never learned when I played professional baseball. I played Major League Baseball at the top, and I was performing wrong, but I just got to that point because I was an overcompensator. I was the best overcompensator, you know? And that's what we do as athletes. Somebody challenges you and you're like, fuck, my knee's not right, but something else is going to figure it out so I can get through this drill, right? Like, and so, but that's eventually where shit gets fucked up and people get really hurt.
You get more hurt.
Exactly.
Like you just, I never rushed back. I just really became unlucky at some points, but a lot of athletes, they want to rush back. They want to get back on the field, which I completely understand because you want to play. You want to do the one thing that you feel like you were made to do. Yep. And but you got to sit down and think, like, if this is the one thing I was made to do, maybe I should take care of my body a lot more.
Yep. And just listen and do the uncomfortable things. It's like you said, you probably just needed to walk away from that drill and been like called in the trainer, you know, and been like, I know in this moment this is gonna suck. I'm gonna look like a bitch. My coach might yell. I might have to do some pencil rolls and shit, and throw up. But at the end of the day, I'm still playing, you know. But like at 20, 17, 18, 19 years old, 19, whatever. Like you don't know that. You don't have the perspective, right? It's the right now versus like.
So right now, if that would have happened, I would have been like, fuck no.
Exactly. Yeah, you would have just looked at him.
No,
and
if I was if I was a junior or senior during that time, if I was playing and if I was a starter and if I was whatever, I would have been like, Coach, you're tripping.
Right.
But I'm a 19-year-old.
Exactly. You're trying to prove
who has to live up to the standard of coming in as a 4-star and the #1 linebacker in your class. Like I had to live up to that standard. I can't just sit out. Like it looks like I can come back and play, and now my coach is screaming in front of everybody that I can come back, and I'm just sitting out running hundreds for fun.
Like, come on, you got me fun. Nah. So talk to me a little bit about right there. That I mean, I know your content and the things that you create on TikTok and social and stuff like that kind of speak to this, but talk to me about the mental health side of that. You know, like you just said, the expectations for me as a player, that was my big thing that I struggled with was expectations. So,
well, if you want me to be brutally honest, my whole entire college, like my mental health, it was affected a lot through I stopped playing football in it was either 2020 or 2021. And then I got a girlfriend.
Does it?
Worst decision of my fucking life. No, like of my life. And everything in my life just stopped. Like I don't even, it was so controlling and so bad that nowadays I don't even have like recollection of it. Like when I wake up during the day, I'm like, usually my body was so used to like only thinking about my relationship and my girl and like what I can do and do this and do that and do that. And now it was football and then it was that. And then I didn't know what the fuck I was doing in college.
Yeah.
So it was a mix of, okay, you got your dreams taken away from you first. Then I got into the relationship and everything was fine. Like it was all good and great at first because it took my mind off of
it was a nice
me
escape.
To stop playing football. Yeah. And then my problem became the relationship. So my first problem was stop playing football. I had no idea what to do. So then I got into like this relationship. It helped me out a lot. Like I love this girl. I would do anything for this girl. Yeah. Then the table started to turn and I was like, holy fuck, this is not what I was expecting at all. And that had a really big effect on my mental health more than Yeah, it was like bad.
Relationships can either help or hurt, right? So the toxicity of that is probably the worst thing that could have happened at the time of going through the ups and downs of sport too.
It was something that like I don't even know. It's so hard to explain because the person I am today, and it wasn't long ago. Like I mean, it was not long ago at all. I just left Clemson.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, everybody always asked me, or like my family that at least knows what was going on. You know, they're like, which one affected you more? You know, like stop playing football or this relationship? I was like, truthfully, I have no fucking idea. Yeah. Because I was at an age where, okay, this really affected me. I was like 18, 19, 20, 21. You know, the things that happened before that, growing up and stuff, like it affects me, but I get over it. And so at this time in my life, I was like, okay, football and this relationship is fucking my mental health right now. So I have to get rid of both of them.
Really? Yeah.
So I don't really do anything football related anymore, and I don't have a girlfriend. Yeah. So my life has been
just a lot freer.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's been great.
Talk to me about the identity too of like being a football player. Like, so when did you decide this? Like, you know, I mean, I know the injuries played a part in all of that, you know, and probably didn't give you too much of a choice on things, but still coming to that decision to move on and be free of football, even coaching, whatever, coming back, you know what I'm saying? All that stuff. Yeah. How tough is that?
Is like it tough? Separating yourself?
Yeah, like the identity.
So for a lot of people, it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
A lot of people ask me, they're like, do you miss it?
Yeah.
And I'm Like, truthfully, no.
That's
because
good, yeah.
I don't miss it because of what my life is today.
Okay.
If my life was shit today, then I would miss it. You know what I mean? Like, if I was just waking up, not doing anything, just sitting there, just being, I guess, trapped, you know? I mean, that's
stuck.
It's like people wake up, they want to go work their 9 to 5, they want to go home and go to sleep and do that. I can't do that.
Yeah.
Like that's just not, if that was me right now, then I would miss football. Yeah. But it's not me. So I have to figure out things in my life to where I always have something like competitive going on. I always have something where there's something on my back just pushing me forward. Because if I get content, I get content. Yeah. Like that's something that is, I want to say, like hereditary in my family, even though it's not. Yeah. When you get content and lazy, like you get content and lazy. And everybody in my family, we have really addictive personalities. So if you find something that you want to do, you just keep doing it. And so I felt myself falling back into that trap. Actually, I can get into, this is how I was able to separate myself from football. I started to do social media, and I was like, I was getting made fun of. Left and right. Like, I mean, my girlfriend was even making fun of that. I'm telling you, my girlfriend was even making fun of me. Why the fuck are you my girl if you gonna make fun of me?
Exactly. You're supposed to be supporting me.
Yeah, I'm already getting clowned by everybody else. Like, can you just let me be? Yeah. But I wasn't doing it for like the attention. I was doing it because I knew that it opened up doors that I guess me just being like myself, not doing social media couldn't. Like, social media opens up doors that you would never expect. Yeah. And so I knew that. So I just wanted to keep doing social media and trying to keep my mind off of football. So like social media became my, not challenge, but it became like the new thing I wanted to become good at. Nice. And I became like okay at it. I didn't become somebody fucking famous or huge. But I grew a big enough platform to make a name for myself and be able to start getting these deals and start getting, little things. And it's not even about the money. Like, I just want it for the connection. Because if I want to go get a hotel room, okay, well, now I know, like, the hotel manager. Yep. So no matter how much money I have, I still have to pay for it. Yeah. But I know her now, so I can go stay for free. So it's just little things like that. That social media, it definitely helps with and helped me keep my mind off of me, my childhood dreams getting crushed. Yeah.
Dude, I love that. I was going to ask, like, there's got to be something, right? Like, and especially as an athlete, that to fill that void of competitiveness. And as we were talking before we cut the mics on, but talking about sports gambling a little bit. And
dude, that's my way of income right now.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm so serious. Like, it's not gambling. Okay? Listen, it's not gambling
if you win.
No, not if you win, because you're not always going to win. But it's not gambling if you're good at it. It's not. It's really not. I promise you, it's not.
So what do you gamble on?
So long story short, I dropped out in November. And this was the thing. I can't say the name of it or say whatever, but I dropped out. I was still on scholarship. I was still getting my stipend, whatever. And I had this opportunity come. And I was like, and by opportunity, I mean like something I will never see again in my life. And, well, I might. But I was saying, like, something that if I pass this up, the odds of it coming back are very, very, very slim. Yeah. So I called my mom, and I was like, Mom, I was like, fuck, I got to tell you something. Yeah. I'm dropping out.
Oh, my God.
And she was like, she knew why.
Yeah.
But it's, I moved back here, and she was like, okay, you can go do this. You can drop out, but I'm not paying your rent. I'm not doing anything. And I was like, okay. Yeah. I'm sports betting every fucking day of my life. And so since November until now, it hadn't been that long, but I mean, like, I pay off my credit card. I pay off.
That's incredible.
My rent, just everything, just from sports betting.
Just sports betting. Yeah. What sports do you bet on?
My best sport is hocky.
Really? Yeah. That's so crazy. Like, I've heard hockey is crazy for numbers.
Hockey is crazy.
I gotta learn more about that, man. Everybody says that. Like,
yeah.
I've heard good
so
things.
I only follow like a few. I mean, I know. I have a theory. Like, whenever I look at the lines, whenever I look at I mean, I have my computer open, my fucking phone, my notepad, everything. And there's a theory to it. You know, it's like, don't bet with your heart. Please, bro. Like, if you bet with your heart, you're going to lose. Yeah. Like, you have to just be smart. You can't just bet on this team because you want them to win. Right. It doesn't matter if they're playing your team. Just be smart. Yeah. And so I told my mom, I was like, yeah, I'm just going to be sports betting. And she was like, okay. And
that's a good mom.
So now, I'd be like, what? Yeah. Because, I mean, I had a little bit of money left over from all my stipends and this, that, whatever. But I knew that I was going to have to, like, make some money. And it's just what I do every day. Sit on the couch.
That's literally what you do every day.
Yeah, well, every night. I will say that much. Like, during the day, I do, during the day, I'll try to do my videos and I'll try to do my content, my whatever, cool. if I'm doing something at the time. Yeah. But, yeah, at night, like, it's literally just me and the TV. And I'm just chilling. Like,
are you live betting too? Like,
that's where most of the money comes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, talk to me a little bit about the content, like how because when I look at your page now, it looks fucking good. So you said, like, in the beginning, I'm sure there was ups and downs with it and everything. Like, how did you decide what your style was, what your message was, and like that kind of stuff?
Well, a lot of the videos that I had on my TikTok page, I took down because I had a girlfriend, and I ended up taking. I mean, I had a lot of good videos with really good numbers on there, and I took them all down during my relationship, and I want to go back in time and punch myself in my face so bad.
Things you do for love, you know?
Yeah. Well, see where it gets you. And but no, I mean, coming up with a message was really just whatever I wanted, whatever I felt was good. Like, what would I want my younger self to know? Yeah. And because I have memories all the time of when I'm 12, 13, you know, like, not knowing what's going on with life. Like, you're like, bro, you're this fat ass offensive lineman. You get no bitches. Like, what are you doing? Yeah. And so then as time goes on, all those memories.
He said, you get no bitches.
Bro, none. Like, none.
How many do a 13 and 14-year-old normally get?
They get a few. But all my friends got invited to, like, the Elon dances and all this cute little shit. I was at home fucking eating. I'm so for real. I'm so for real.
I appreciate it. I can laugh now because I think it's dope, the content that you make and the way that you talk about, you know, talk to your younger self and shit like that.
Yeah.
So
like, seeing the people that I grew up with now, it gives me a really good feeling. Because, like, and they're cool, you know, they're cool people. Every time I see them, I talk to them, this, that, whatever. But at those moments, they were never good times. Yeah. So I didn't really want to.
I feel you.
Yeah.
That's so how much does mental health, like, are you passionate about mental health? Is that something that you want to talk about and you want to, like, do going forward?
Yeah. And I really want to do a clothing brand.
Really?
Like, yeah. Nice. I really want, it's called Protect Your Peace.
Yeah.
And I want it to be like, just all mental health. Really, really mostly men, because everybody already focuses on women anyway. Yeah. And so, but yeah, men's mental health is really important to me. And I got it just from, like I said, going through all that shit over time.
It's organic to you.
Just knowing that at a young age, that's what I would have needed out of somebody online. Yeah. You know, if I'm scrolling through my phone or something, even when I was 18, 19, like whenever TikTok started becoming popular, and I think I was like 19, 20, whatever, and I was 19, and I would see all these, like, relatable posts and quotes and all of that, and I would sit there and read them and watch them and send them to my friends and do this and do that, and I was like, bro, you can kind of do this if you want to do this. Like, it's not that fucking hard. Yeah. And so I did that for a little bit. I just did it for fun, like, just to inspire other people. I did not, and I still don't give a fuck about the attention. Like, my videos right now do not get a lot of views or, like, anything. I don't care. Like, it's gonna reach the people that it needs to reach.
Yep, exactly.
And so just knowing that there's people out there that still need it. Yeah. And even if they say they don't need it, because I say I don't need it, and then one pops up on my phone. Yeah, and I'm like, I'm like, oh, wait, this is actually true. Yeah.
You don't know what you need until you need it. You know what I'm saying?
My point, yeah.
Yep. And that's why I think I appreciate, like you said, social media is about connecting with people, and it's a human need. It's why social media is such a thing, right? We want to connect with people, and it allows you to connect with people all around the world. So I appreciate what you're doing on there, and I think I'm passionate about men's mental health too, because there's such a stigma around it, or there has been. I think in the last 3-5 years, things have really changed a little bit. That narrative has changed. But I was involved with a company called the Positive Vibe Movement, and that's kind of our whole thing was trying to end the stigma around mental health, and especially with men. So we thought if we could talk about it as men, and we had a little podcast going for a little while and everything. But it's true. You just speak your story, your experiences. There's somebody out there that can relate to it, that needs to hear it that day. And you don't know why you make your content, but maybe you do, and you put it out there, and one person sees it that needs to see it, and maybe saves them that day.
That's the thing. It has nothing to do with the amount of people I reach. I just want to reach the right person.
Exactly.
And now it's just trying to come up with any content that people really just I just create stupid shit now. Like just whatever comes to my mind, I'm like, oh sure, post it. Like, I don't post every day. Yeah. I don't post every other day. Like if I want to post a video, it might be once every few days. I'm like, I think this is smart. So whatever. But so I guess I can kind of get into it a little bit. I didn't really want to. But I do want to, but I don't at the same time. So the reason I dropped out was to go be on a show. Yeah. Okay. Not like one of those fucking dating shows.
Reality shows.
No, it is a reality show. It is a reality show.
Let's go.
But it's not like one of those dating shows.
Right. Not a date. Yeah. You're not flying to some island and you're bringing your ex.
No. That would be wild.
That would be wild.
Yeah. Couldn't pay me. But no, I dropped out for an opportunity that is going, by the end of the year, my life will be completely, like how I'm sitting here right now and I'm chilling and whatever, like by the end of the year, it's going to take a 180.
All right, let's go.
And I'm really, really looking forward to it. I took a risk. We can talk more about it once it comes out.
Yeah, absolutely. No worries.
I was kind of scared to go do it because I was like, if I don't make a big enough impact, then I just dropped out of school for no reason.
Right.
And it was the complete opposite.
Oh, so you've already filmed and done stuff?
Yeah,
oh my God, let's go. Okay,
that's done. Dope. And so that's why now, whenever I'd say that, like I'm just sports betting and like that's my income, people are gonna be like, oh, like this guy's a fucking bum. Like this. I'm like, no, wait, I'm just doing this shit like I'm just bored. I don't have to do it.
Right.
And I don't have to do anything. You know those memes where it's like your unemployed friend on a Tuesday at 3 p.m. and he's like chilling in a tub? Yeah.
Bro, that was me too. When I would play baseball, so I'd come back in the wintertime and be done. Sometimes even too. Like yesterday, I went and ate lunch and like did some work and I was like, the restaurant was empty. I'm like, people probably think I'm some bum just sitting here like in the middle of the day. I'm like, I'm actually working. I have like other businesses and like other things that I'm working on that people don't know.
Yeah, that I do. I just want to work for myself. Yeah. You know, and there's no better feeling. Like, I don't care about money. Yeah. Time is money, bro. Money, you can have all the money in the world and not know what to do with it. Yeah. But the more time you have, the more rich, in my opinion, you become. Yeah. And so working for yourself is what I plan to do.
Yeah. And bro, and to me, like I'm the same way. So I don't get me wrong, money allows you to do a lot of opportunities, opens up a lot of doors. So I'm not ignorant, and I'm running businesses, so I want to make money, right? Don't get me wrong, but money, I realized that money didn't make me happy when I took a contract and I played over in Korea for a year, making the most money ever making. Terrible. I was unhappy. I wanted to come back here. I wanted to do all these things. So I just realized right then and there, okay, it's not about money. It's about impact. It's about purpose. It's about how do you spend your time, like you said, right? So is it meaningful time? Are you trying to do things that better people? Are you trying to make a living where nobody gets hurt and you're bettering people, all that stuff. So that's the same thing with this podcast is like I was doing lessons and kids were asking me stories and shit like that more than caring about how to throw a baseball. And I was like, fuck, all right, well, I have a cool network. I have a spot in Baton Rouge that I could invite people to. Why not let them tell their story and just keep growing this, platform or anything that I have. And if one person hears my podcast and says, yo, that fucked with me, that helped me, like helped me get through this time, or I listened to Bryton's story and it motivated me. I had 2 ACL surgeries. It's like, fuck, I did my job. Yeah. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So
I got, what was I about to say? Oh yeah, so I had 3 ACL, and then I got my meniscus taken out back in September.
Same knee?
Yeah. So my left knee is
that thing.
I have to get a knee replacement when I'm like 45.
Oh my God. I'm just gonna let's start over.
But I'll be a grandpa at a young age, really young age. Yeah.
Holy shit, that's crazy. Well, dude, I really appreciate this. I'm excited to see what the project is that you went and did. Hopefully, we can talk about it more. Maybe after it comes out, we can come back
after it comes
do
out.
another one.
I'm having a hopefully if you want to, I'm doing. So they're actually hopefully supposed to come back here next month to do a backstory.
Nice.
And I'm pretty sure they are. But then it's going to release before the end of the year, but I'm having like a watch party.
Fuck yeah.
So y'all got to come through.
Coming through, for sure.
With cameras, everything.
Let's go.
It's going to be a really, really good time.
I'm excited. And you said maybe you might be starting a little podcast too in your
spare
time. Sorry, I just threw that out there.
No, you're good.
I said it before the podcast. So.
Yeah. So whenever I dropped out, I came back and I moved. I just moved back in with my mom and my brother, my stepdad, before I had to go film the show. And now since I'm back, I at my own place.
Yeah.
I got creating a podcast, and it's gonna. I don't know what I want to talk about. Yeah. I have no idea. Probably just whatever the person that comes on wants to talk about. You know.
That's cool.
And then just streaming, Call of Duty, sports betting.
Let's go.
So like the life you see on the internet.
Yeah.
I want to live that life without, I guess, without actually living that life. It's so hard. It's so hard to explain. I know what the fuck I mean.
That's it. That's all that matters. If you have your vision, you execute it.
I want to make money. However I make the money, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like I just want to be able to live free.
Yep.
And but yeah, I'll start my own podcast hopefully within the next 5-6 months.
Oh yeah.
And get that rolling. I'll get you over there.
Yeah,
talk about some baseball.
That would be dope, man. Yeah, like keep doing what you're doing because, like I said, I think it's hella powerful for people that have reached the levels that you have, look the way you do, and carry yourself the way you do, to talk about mental health, to talk about shortcomings, whatever it is, and saying, hey, look, this was my goal and I didn't reach it, and this is how it made me feel.
Yeah, I
think that's fucking hella strong, bro. And I think as we get older, and I think the role of an alpha male in society really changes in the sense of emotional intelligence and stuff. So I'm excited to see you grow as a man through these next couple of years because you're only 22. I think I forget sitting here that you're only 22, and I'm excited to see the things you do, bro, and keep doing impactful stuff in the community.
I appreciate it.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for your time.